Hey everyone, this is Mike and welcome to Scholar in 5 minutes. Before we do anything, you will want to summon your fairy. You can summon either Eos or Selene, but it's purely a cosmetic choice. With that out of the way, let's start off with damage. Broil 3 is your spammable spell that just deals damage. Ruin 2 is a weaker version of Broil, but it's an instant cast spell, so you can use this when you need to move or use off global cooldowns. Biolysis will apply a 30-second damage over time on your target, again instant cast spell, and Art of War is your AoE attack, again also an instant cast. We also have a raid buff called Chain Stratagem, which will increase your party's crit rate by 10% against one specific target. Scholar's healing kit is divided in a lot of different parts, so let's just start off at the beginning and make our way down. GCD heals. Physic is a single target weak heal that once you unlock more healing tools, you won't really be using all that much. Adloquium or Adlo is a single target heal and shield, and when your Adlo crits it will create two shields for you instead, one called Galvanize, the other called Catalyze. The reason why it forms two shields on a crit is because we also have a skill called Deployment Tactics that can spread the Adlo to nearby party members, and back in the day a crit Adlo would create just one giant shield that could be spread this way, so this is basically how they nerfed that, because Deployment Tactics will only spread the Galvanize shield to your party members. And lastly we have Sucker. This is an AoE heal and shield. When you need to just heal and not shield, you can also use a skill called Emergency Tactics, which will turn the shielding aspect of Adlo and Sucker into a heal instead. Let's move on to our Aetherflow actions. First off, we have Aetherflow, which will grant you 3 stacks of Aetherflow and also restore some mana. These stacks can be spent on 5 abilities. Energy Drain will deal damage and restore some mana, also on a very short cooldown, so you can pretty much spam this to dump any leftover stacks when your Aetherflow comes off cooldown again. Lustrate is a single target heal that, again, you can also spam if you want to do so. Sacred Soil will place a bubble on the ground that while party members are standing inside of it, they will take 10% reduced damage and also receive a healing over time effect. Indomitability, or Indom for short, is an instant AoE heal, and Excogitation, or Excog for short, is a buff that you can place on yourself or a party member that will trigger when its duration runs out, or when the target drops below 50% HP. When the buff gets triggered, you will get a heal out of it. Do keep in mind that this doesn't prevent you from dying to excess damage, so let's say a tank is about to take a tank buster, and say it will do 60% of their HP, then they will still die if they are at 55% when they take it. But if the tank is at, let's say, 70%, then as soon as they drop to 10% from the tank buster, they will receive the heal. Each time you use an Aetherflow action, you will also increase the fairy gauge by 10. This fairy gauge can be spent on 2 abilities. Aether Pact will tether a party member and heal them over time, slowly draining your fairy gauge until it either runs out or until you cancel the Aether Pact skill, and Fey Blessing is an AoE heal that costs 10 gauge. We also have an ability called Recitation, which will allow you to use Adlo, Sucker, Indom or Excog without consuming resources and also guaranteeing a crit. So for Adlo and Sucker it won't cost mana, for Indom and Excog it won't cost an Aetherflow stack. Your fairy itself can also do a few things. When your fairy is just out and idle, it will cast Embrace, a single target heal on a party member that needs healing, and she will constantly do this. Whispering Dawn will make your fairy put a heal over time effect on your party, and Fey Illumination will put a buff on your party that will grant a 10% healing buff while also reducing damage taken by 5%. Do keep in mind that all of these heals originate from your fairy's position, so make sure that your fairy is positioned correctly. There are also 2 more things that you can do with the fairy. Let's start off with Eating It. Dissipation will make your fairy disappear and grant you 2 things. 3 Aetherflow stacks and a 20% healing potency buff for 30 seconds. During these 30 seconds, your fairy will also be gone, so you can't use any other fairy related actions. Once the 30 seconds are over, your fairy will automatically come back. The second thing we can do is make your fairy transform into the Seraph. While Seraph is out, she will cast Seraphic Veil, a single target heal and shield on party members who take damage, so basically replacing Embrace. Whispering Dawn and Fey Illumination have different names, but they're essentially the same skills, so this is just to show you that they can also be used while the Seraph is out. And Consolation will heal all of your party members while also putting up a shield, and this shield can stack with the shields created by Sucker and Adlo. You cannot use Fey Blessing and Aether Pact while Seraph is out, and when the Seraph duration ends, your fairy will automatically come back. Last but not least, we have our role actions, which are the same for all healers, so I'll just go over them really quickly. Repose puts a target to sleep, but it's fairly useless. Esuna will cleanse 1 debuff. Swift Cast makes your next spell instant. Lucid Dreaming restores mana. Sure Cast negates most knockbacks. And Rescue will pull a party member towards you. And that does it for Scholar in 5 minutes. So I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank my Patreons for their support. And I'll see you in the next one.